What is up, everybody? This is the SSC first podcast live stream thingy majigger, and we're dogs except for Def. But anyways, we're
Yeah,
here.
I'm not.
And we're
I'm
just
Slam Jam.
we're, we're just chilling, and we're gonna talk about some game-related articles that we found, and just kind of hang out with you guys. And if you guys want to talk about something, leave it in the comment section, of course. But yeah, we'll get started.
Yep.
So, but if those of you who do not know, which I'm sure everybody in this podcast knows right now, who joined us, the SSC, we are a small channel network, support small channel network. We basically are a bunch of great people who get on a forum most of the time, and we support each other. We introduce ourselves. We do collabs all the time together. We hang out on TeamSpeak and just have a good time and help each other out on YouTube. So if anybody sees this and they want to become a part of that, definitely go check out the forum.
Do it.
So yeah.
Yep. Do it.
I'll let Anon start us off with introducing.
First off, Def, can you go ahead and check the stream, see if it's actually going, because it doesn't.
Yes, it is going.
Okay, cool.
I'm watching the stream right now.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Awesome. And my face keeps showing up. Wonderful. But
No worries. It's so small that nobody can even see it.
you know what? Here's what we're gonna do about that. There.
I can't see anything. Well, let's start
You didn't see anything.
It's beautiful.
That's okay. Okay, so first thing we are talking about today. I don't know. What were we going to talk about today?
You introduced yourself. Who are you, Anon?
I am a person who...
He's anonymous.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, except I'm not anymore.
He was.
I am a previously anonymous person who does YouTube from time to time.
Yep.
And
Pretty well
yeah,
summed up.
pretty much that sums it up. I mostly do YouTube videos with these guys.
He's also the admin of the forum.
Yep, admin of SSC and as the SSC TeamSpeak. So yeah, that's what I do, and that's me.
Anonymous Doge.
Anonymous Doge.
I'm Swiss. I am, obviously you can see in the background I'm a little husky. I'm in charge of Swiss Gaming, and I post just random videos of just me hanging out with my friends, hanging out with these guys, because I just like to have fun when I play games. I get sort of competitive sometimes, but most of the time it's just for fun. And I'm also part of the forum. Obviously, I'm a moderator, and yeah, I really like the community. They accepted me into the community first off, so that was pretty cool of them. And then I just got involved, and this is where it ended up. And I really like hanging out with these guys all the time. So you, Def.
Yeah.
Do it.
And I will do it. I am Def Stamina. I'm on YouTube at Def Stamina. I do not have a lot of videos. I only have 12 and nothing recent. The only full Let's Play I have is of 6Vs. If any technical difficulties happen, it's probably because of me due to my internet. I'm not cool enough to have a face rig apparently because it doesn't work for me. But I basically am going around to other channels, playing collabs, being part of other people's channels to try and still be active in the YouTube community. But until I kind of get myself set up for YouTube purposes for myself, I'm not going to put up a lot of solo videos. But yeah, I can be found on a lot of other people's channels for collabs, especially these two guys. So just be looking out for me there. There we go.
Yep. So what article were we going to start with?
We can start out with one of yours.
Okay, we'll start out with one of mine. Boo. Silence. I am bad at this. I am sorry. I am so sorry.
Our first timers, give us a break.
Yeah, give us a break, people.
Oh boy. Stop
I mean, if
frickin' messaging me, people.
world
Stop
is
messaging him.
burning.
He's just
Stop.
kind of thinking of an article.
You both are on the
I'm on it, bro.
Okay, cool.
I'm on it.
Cool. How about that Minecraft Windows 10 edition?
I don't know about that Microsoft Windows 10, Minecraft 10, whatever it is. I don't know about that. Describe it to me, please.
Yes, you do. Dude, you can read the frickin'
Come on. Just describe it to everybody who doesn't know. Basically, they're doing away with the traditional Java-based thing for that has always been a thing for Minecraft in exchange for an extended Pocket Edition build, and they're calling that Windows 10 Edition. That's pretty much sums up what it is. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna get it. I have Minecraft already. There's no point.
Yeah, the edition isn't supposed to like make the PC version basically be dying. It's supposed to run alongside it, but really, to me it doesn't really make sense. I mean, I'm not a big Minecraft person anyway, even though I do have Windows 10. I haven't really tried Minecraft on the PC, so
I mean,
it's not really something.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's a lot of issues apparently. But what I was saying is that I mean, I don't understand if they're trying to change it or whatever. I mean, it's kind of just the only thing I kind of see if they do that is technical difficulties, which I haven't really seen a lot of news about that. But
The
No,
one thing I
no.
did see when I looked it up, apparently it renders really fast. Like there was a guy that like went
Oh,
on
yeah.
there and it renders like super crazy distance, like ultra fast. Like he spawned and then he went straight up and flew straight up, you know, because he was in creative mode. And he just like looked around and everything was there already. Like it was just all laid out in like an instant. Which I mean that's how it should be, but
what's
mean, if-
going to be
if that-
really
that's the
Go ahead.
reason you're getting Minecraft Windows 10 edition. Then that's dumb. You're just wasting your money, I guess.
It's talking about the Pocket version. It's also talking about it for like the mining worlds, and there's also the multitude of mods you gotta take into consideration as well. Like what's gonna happen with that in the version, because apparently it's supposed to be more of a self-contained version. So with all those mods, what's gonna really happen to all that for those that like to use a lot of mods? So that's kind of one thing that I think kind of turns people about this, because a lot of Minecraft users that I know that kind of play it casually do play with a lot of mods on it. So
Yeah, mods are always fun, and if you mess with mods, as the Steam community knows, when they're trying to make everybody pay for them, then people get pissed, and it doesn't sell anything.
Another thing about the mods is traditionally they've been written in Java because Minecraft is written in Java, and that's made it a lot easier for modders to get really good mods out there really quickly. Now you have to write everything in C++. That's going to take a lot more time, and it's going to be a lot harder.
I mean,
oh yeah,
I mean, Java is more. I guess it's a little bit more user friendly. I mean, I program because that's my major. But, I mean, C++. I've done a Java class, and I also now I'm working in C++. Like, to me, it's not really a preference. But with Java, the good thing about Java is that it's class based. This might be over some people's heads, but it's class based, so you can make a program in Java and be like, hey, I'm going to implement this class that's already made, and I'm just going to import it into my program, so I don't have to redo everything. And you're just like, okay, here's my class, and I can easily do that in Java. And in C++, I mean, you can do it, but it's a little bit more difficult. But Java is a class-based programming language, and it makes it a lot easier. Coming out with the knowledge.
Yeah. Milkins asks, do you see a point in the story mode adaptation of Minecraft? I'm guessing he's referring to the one that is being made. Yeah, I'm guessing he's referring to the one that's being made by Telltale Games. I guess? Maybe? Not really. I wouldn't be personally interested in it. But
I mean, it's really interesting to see what they would do with that. But I mean, to me, I don't feel like there's really purpose for Minecraft, because Minecraft in the first place was kind of created for you to just kind of sandbox around, create a bunch of stuff, and explore. I don't
Yeah.
really know what the point of putting a story mode to it would be, aside from just trying to kind of renovate it in a way to get more people.
Yeah,
But
like the whole
Minecraft
point
was
of
created.
a sandbox game is to do what you want and create your own story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just sandbox. It's
Like-
literally it's basically sandbox.
Like everybody's story when they play Minecraft is about the first night, like how they survived the first night. Like they dug a hole and they waited for all the zombies. You know, they heard them all outside and they mined into the ground and fell in a cave or something. You know, it's all about the first day. Like there's no story. You have your own stories. You make your own stories, and that's what's so great about Minecraft is that it's, you know, so open ended. You can just do anything you want, and that's the whole point of it. I mean, making a story for it is not really. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Let the users make their own story.
Exactly. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
I agree with Swellcore Gaming. It does not need a story mode. You create your own.
Agreed.
And about the Java thing, N4 numbers, yeah, I agree. Comes along with the whole library behind it. Definitely agree with that.
All right.
Okay.
Good for.
Yeah, that was good. That kind of segues into mine. So, this is about it's called Fact or Fiction. Video games are the future of education. So, they're talking about basically there's some new public schools that are using games to teach kids. So, like the teachers at this place called Quest to Learn Public School in New York City. They use video game design to write their curriculum, and they organize the curriculum into missions and quests, and they just says focuses on multifaceted challenges. I can hardly read that may have more than one correct answer, letting students explore different solutions by making choices along the way. And more than simply playing video games, Quest to Learn students also study game design using GameStar mechanic and other computer programs. After students successfully complete GameStar missions, they are awarded avatars and other tools they can use to build their own games. So, like, they're learning stuff, getting rewarded for it. They're playing a game, and they don't really, you know, obviously they have to learn stuff, but I mean, they're playing a game, so it makes it a lot more fun. And also, parents of school-age children, it says, are very likely to be familiar with Minecraft, and there's a Minecraft EDU, a version of the game that teachers created for educational purposes. It teaches students mathematical concepts, including perimeter, area, and probabilities, as well as foreign languages. So that's pretty cool, to be honest. Like, in my own experience, I actually did use Minecraft for school. It's hilarious. I used it for one of my CS classes. We had to do circuits, and we were doing like logic circuits, you know, logic stuff. And you can do all of that in Minecraft. You can build it with redstone torches, and all the, you know, all that stuff. And I actually did the assignment in Minecraft and got like the answers. You know, I had to like put in like, you know, if this is 1, then what comes out if it's 0 or 1, you know, for binary. And I did the whole assignment with Minecraft because my professor's like, yeah, you can do this in Minecraft if you want. And I was actually the only person in my class that did it. So
Nice. That's cool.
yeah, it's
cool.
actually very cool.
I think with they did that as well for me at a youth center that I worked at or did a student internship for. They have Minecraft there. It can be for recreational purposes and educational purposes. I feel like that place I didn't really get as much an example as you did because it's more of a recreational thing, but I could definitely see that there could be a learning aspect, especially in kind of just seeing how everything works and
Problem
kind of putting
solving.
it all together.
Video games
Yeah,
teach
basically
problem solving.
And
kinda leads.
like kind of your creative mind too, because you can build so much in Minecraft. So like arts and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really just kind of getting like the gist of understanding everything. It's like at first it's like, okay, let me just grab some of this and I can make me a little place to stay, and then afterwards it's like, oh, apparently I can make this and I can make more of this. It's kind of like a learning experience as you play. So especially with the Minecraft thing, it's a big thing, and I can kind of see if you do it with like other games. I can't really think of any that come to mind right off the bat, but I could kind of see that being integrated into other games as long as it doesn't go to an unusual extreme.
Yeah. I mean, if it's still fun, I feel like students will pick up on it real quick. I mean, like when I played Minecraft a lot, like you were talking about like problem solving. Like I used to make like kind of like mazes where like
Mhm.
people would have to like go into a room and they'd have to find the exit, and it'd be like hidden, and you wouldn't be able to like just break through the wall, obviously, because that's like that would be like one of the rules before people went in there. But you could like make a room like that where it's all about problem solving, like find the hidden door and do something, like do a bunch of random switches to find the combination of the door or something, stuff like that. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
simple things like that can teach.
Just don't start bringing Left 4 Dead 2 into the elementary schools. Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Can you imagine that? Left 4 Dead, that teaches survival skills, kids.
Do it.
Do it.
I agree with Skullcore Gaming. He says, I think that sounds okay for like 1 or 2 classes, but I don't think an entire curriculum should be taught with video games. I agree with that, because you do need the teacher element with the non-distracting video game to teach you, the important parts of a certain curriculum.
Exactly.
yeah.
There's not a devoted curriculum to video games. There are like specific classes, like simulation and game development is like a very common one, but I can definitely agree that classes for like elective purposes or technology purposes is very understandable, but don't put a whole curriculum into gaming.
Yeah,
not just yet.
This article even says like it's not going to replace teachers or anything like that. It's not the most cost-effective option, and especially with schools with tight budgets and crowded classrooms, but it can help. It can help reach out to those kids who are, they don't learn the traditional way, and maybe they need something like that to teach them some key concepts of, I don't know, anything that they're doing, I guess, like any type of the curriculum. Understand, maybe a video game could help them.
Yep. Okay, I guess we can move on to one of my articles. By the way, comment said that apparently I'm a lot quieter than you two. Oh well, that'll just be the case then.
Sorry guys, first time.
Yeah, sorry, you just deal with it.
Do it. Deal with it.
Sorry.
Anyway, my first article I want to bring up is I saw an article. It was about gaming's biggest demographic as of 2015. I was taking a look at it, and apparently what has happened now is that just recently, this is global stats by the way, adult women, which basically refers to ages between 20 and 35, are now the largest demographic in the gaming industry, making up a total of 36% of the population, which I was immediately interested or whatever. This is recent because it just passed the adult men, because they had 35%, and I also found out that the stereotypical teenage male gamer actually makes up just 17%. That's pretty low compared to this. And according to the other data, it also says that the study shows that the stereotypes like adult female gamers are just good at Candy Crush is inaccurate, saying that this is kind of a universal thing or a more common thing in the US that consoles are more popular. 59% of Americans play games, and 51%, basically 1 in 2 of every household, have some sort of gaming console, whether it be a Wii, PS4, Xbox. That's kind of interesting to me, considering that over the course of the past couple of years, I've been kind of seeing more of the adult female population starting to take more of an effect on gaming and being more involved in gaming, which kind of has my attention because it can be seen 2 ways. One is just an integration of more of an equal audience. Each demographic kind of be more equally affected by certain things. But again, also there's that possibility for a lot of other things. I don't want to go into too deep of topics about or too big because I don't want to cause like controversies, but I just don't like. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, there's controversy on that topic. Yeah, but
Yeah. So, I did actually see another thing. What it was, as I saw an article from 2013 that went with it that discusses more demographics, like preferred things for the demographics. And according to some of these statistics, apparently what it says is the male gamers more commonly prefer games that involve violence, like first-person shooters or gory adventure games, while females prefer kind of social games like adventure or simulation. I'm gonna go ahead and go through.
Soulcore Gaming asks, was mobile gaming included in those numbers?
Mobile gaming was included, but that kind of is to this data I have right here. The type of according to most preferred gaming device by gender, 50%. It's 50% or female. For females, console is most popular at 50%. For
That kind of
computer at
surprises
30.
me.
Computer at 30%, and handheld mobile is at 10%. It is significantly higher than males, but it's not dominant. For males, 70% of males enjoy the computer more, 25% about like console, and less than 5% like the handheld mobile. Which I like that. And then it's pretty interesting.
I fit that obviously because I prefer I think we all fit that because we all prefer PC. But I mean, it kind of surprises me because like I'm at college and all of my friends play console gaming, and then like all the people in my hallway play consoles. You know, like that just kind of surprised me.
It's very surprising. One other thing
Yeah.
I saw was the types of video game players. They kind of categorized it into 4 things, like novice,
PC Master Race. No, none of that here.
Not play a lot. Occasional, play usually once a week, pretty often. Frequent, play several times a week, or expert, play very often. Females tend to fall in the occasional category with about 50%, then falling in the frequent category with about 30%. For males, it's 40% for both frequent and experts. So apparently males play more often than females in video games.
Yeah.
Talking about the violence, which I definitely agree with this stat right here. 84%
I agree with
of
Soulcore
males.
Gaming.
It's an 84-16 advantage in favor of violent for males, whereas it's a 44-56 in favor of non-violent for females. Which, I mean, to me that just kind of comes naturally. I don't know if that's just kind of a gender bias or something like that, but
yeah, I mean, because like us men were like, blow it up.
But
like, you know, girls are like, I want to like establish this relationship with this guy in this game before he dies. Like that's what
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, and then the last.
So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the last chart of stats I have here, kind of go into more miscellaneous stats. Average age to start playing video games. For males, it's about 6.6 years. For females, it's about 9.3 years. Hours per week playing games on a desktop or laptop computer. For males, on average per week, 17.5 hours. For females, 6.5 hours. So pretty big discrepancy between those two demographics.
Yeah.
Average money spent on video games and game-related purchases per year. For males, on average, about $334. For females, about $87. Another big discrepancy there.
Does Def sound better, guys? I changed the volume. Let me know.
Probably sounds a little bit better. Gaming genre preference. For males, strategy, role-playing, action, fighting, first-person shooters. Really high on that list. For females, social, puzzle, card games, music, dance, educational, and simulation.
That's what I'm saying. Getting those relationships. Play with Barbies. I'm just kidding.
Great.
Then, and to wrap all this up, likelihood of playing games at all times for long periods of time. Men are, of course, more likely with their mostly expert playing. Likelihood of playing games when others are playing with them is in favor of the females, which I think very, very easy. More friends, maybe. More people that kind of influence them in decisions or playing just with them. Likelihood of feeling guilty while playing video games in strong favor of the females.
Probably because the guys don't want to admit that they feel guilty.
Exactly.
I think it's probably also the fact that kind of with guys they don't kind of gain like an emotional connection to like the decisions that they make or put a big amount of thought into the decisions they make.
Oh, I don't know about that. There's definitely been characters where I felt emotionally attached. Like that, yeah, you kind of develop a relationship with the characters if it's a strong, if it's a good character and it's a good story, you can definitely develop a,
I can definitely understand that.
Yeah, you can care for the characters.
Mario Party's been known to build friendships.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, Mario
Quote,
Party.
build.
Steal my star, I'm gonna kill you.
It's like Mario Party.
Stab.
Everybody. Okay, and I think out of all of this data, I think what really kind of interested me was the females preferring consoles over everything else. I mean, yes, the handheld category is definitely a lot higher than males, but I was expecting it to be a little bit more even between them, which it still kind of is, 50, 30, 10, but I guess I was expecting it to be more even. But yeah, that's kind of what my thoughts are on that.
I think with the whole thing where you said like adult females are starting to, you said it was adult females that are taking over the demographic, right?
Yes.
Just general demographic. I think that's actually kind of cool because now gaming companies have to cater to that kind of audience too. Like as before, it was mostly guys, and so they're like explosions, big
explosions, guns, boobs.
Yeah.
now you got to put better.
I mean, granted, there are probably females that like that stuff as well, but now you've got two completely different, mindsets to cater to.
And now they're going to be building the characters up more too, so you kind of get to know the characters rather than here's Master Chief, he doesn't talk, he's going to go shoot aliens, and then he's going to be done with the game.
Yep. You got to create better quality, and that should hope for maybe bring more better games into the gaming community.
Boobs.
So yeah.
More, I think I guess it caters to the story games. Because it makes gaming companies have to make stories better almost. Build characters.
Swalker says, I wonder how many of those women are on Twitch for donations for their gaming skills.
Lol.
Wow.
I don't think many people are on Twitch because they're good at video games. Or YouTube for that matter. We don't do it because we're good at games. We do it because it's entertaining.
Yeah, show everybody something.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're like, hey, watch me play as I scream.
Watch me whoop and watch me nay.
There's a bug in my room. Oh my god, it just fell off the ceiling next to me. Get out of here, bug.
Fear bugs.
I don't like bugs.
M4 Numbers says, and people say I'm cynical. I'm not sure what he's referring to.
Cynical Brit?
Yeah. Cynical Brit. Okay, before we continue on with topics, I kind of want to derail the topic conversation and go into like what we've been recently playing just a little bit.
Yeah.
Before we go into all these articles.
I mean, last night we had a hell of a time playing Smite.
Oh yeah, you guys probably enjoyed that. I wasn't part of that because I don't have Smite. How is Smite for these? How is my Smite for the Steam? Because I mean, it's recent that they've gotten that all taken care of. And
it's free. Do it.
Do it.
I like how your character just like leaned down, like.
Well, okay. So I mean, as a person who's never played Smite or has rarely seen it and kind of figured it out, I'm kind of wanting to see. Okay, can you guys kind of give me an explanation on like what kind of the mechanics are and how everything works? Because I don't really have no knowledge about this game.
Do you know what a MOBA is?
Yeah. Do you know what MOBAs are?
I'm not familiar with MOBAs. I'm not very gaming educated.
I'm afraid I'll not be able to explain it.
Basically, a MOBA is an online, mobile online battle arena,
Yeah.
and
yeah, I know.
basically,
No, massive. I thought it was massive. Let me see what-
whatever.
I would have gotten
Oh,
it at first if
multiplayer,
you hadn't
duh.
said.
Multiplayer online battle arena. Yeah, there you go. Okay,
Yeah,
but
really
yeah,
sound like
basically,
that is.
what your setup is, you start at opposite sides of the map, and you have to go down lanes, kill minions to collect gold and upgrade your items and abilities. And the objective is basically to destroy the opponent's towers, which are defending their spawn point. And then once you do that, also, while simultaneously defending yours, but once you do that, you can move to their spawn point, and you have to destroy it to end the game and win.
So it's kind of like a. I'm trying to go. It's kind of like a massive. I want to say it's kind of like a massive capture the flag. It's kind of like defending yourself while attacking and destroying the other team.
In a way, yeah. Have you ever played? Oh, I can't think. Have you ever played like Awesome Knots on Steam?
I've heard of it, and I've seen it a little bit.
Have you ever played Unreal Tournament? I think it's like the node
Yes.
match or something. You have to
Yes, I
go
have
to their
heard of it.
spawn and you have to destroy their big node or
Yeah,
whatever.
that makes sense.
It's
'Cause
basically like that.
I was kind of thinking that's what was familiar as you guys describing it, because I've played a lot of games where you involve capture the flag.
Yeah, I mean, like
And
with Unreal Tournament, you have to connect the nodes to their giant node. Then you can attack it. It's the same kind of way with MOBAs. You have to destroy their towers to get to their big whatever it is that you're destroying.
I kind of see the resemblance now. Yeah.
Hey,
What
welcome
else
back,
have you guys been
Laternal.
playing? Hey, Laternal!
What's up, buddy?
Anyway, what else have you guys been playing before?
Hold on, let me bring the name up. Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball.
Yes.
Roller derby,
Yes.
booster, and dodgeball derby.
Just call it Disco Dodgeball. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dodgeball.
Okay,
but-
I'm gonna go ahead and
Oh,
feed.
My
That is-
no, froze. Why did it freeze?
Oh no.
No, my face
no.
rig just froze. It's fine now. It unfroze.
Okay.
The roller robot disco derby dodgeball is the Mario Party of Steam.
It's basically the Mario Party of Steam. Okay, what it is
Quoting
is
Milton.
you are you are okay. Basically, you are a robot. You are a robot, and you're basically playing dodgeball. You're a robot. You're rolling around on a roller. It's like a derby. You're kind of rolling around trying to get other people. It's disco. A lot of disco music and a lot of techno music.
Great
and it's
music.
dodgeball. It's literally some of the best theme music you've ever seen.
It's pretty awesome.
Basically, what it is, you pick up a dodgeball and you're trying to kill all the players in either a free for all or team format, and you're throwing and you're gonna hit them, and the ball can bounce a couple times, and so that way you can kind of still get like ricochet kills and get a bunch of trick shots. There's power-ups you can use, such as a jetpack or homing dodgeball or a fire dodgeball, which are uncatchable. I personally like it because it really is a high-paced game, very simple, yet very difficult at the same time because you're also playing against the bots. I think if there's really one, I want to say, complaint about it, I think it would be that the AIs are kind of spread out or difficult even for an easy level thing.
Easy, they wreck you.
Yeah, easy wrecks. I was playing single player by myself. I was playing against 4 other bots. I was playing single player, and I was playing on easy mode. I played first to 50. I was playing first to 50. I finished up dead last, and that was with I had 36 points. I had a 36 and 21 kills to deaths. The top person who got the 50 points ended with a 50 and 9 kill to death ratio.
Jesus.
So the easy bots, I think, are a little easy bots should be more in the hard position.
Needless to
The
say,
shots do kind of. Go ahead.
you need to play it with friends.
Yeah, it's best to play it with friends because it's a more of an even thing. I mean, me and Anna were playing it the other day, and literally we were getting so pissed off at the AIs, and we would just call out the AIs' names like, "Dang it, Andy!" Andy was just wrecking us the other day.
Damn it, Andy!
Yeah, it was just that's kind of. But yeah, it's definitely very fun if you can get a lot of friends. It's simple to kind of connect. The one thing that I think kind of also messes up with the connection is I think it tries to calibrate with everybody's internet, but that's kind of just so players will like teleport across the map. You'll definitely have some connectivity issues. That's just something that needs to be fixed out because I mean, not a lot's been put into the game yet. It's a lot of creativity stuff, but I'd really recommend it.
It's a fun game. It really is.
Yeah, it really gets nice high pace. It's a nice competitive thing if you don't want to be too serious, like with Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It's not something really competitive like that, but it's nice and fun if you want to just get with friends and mess around in like a dodgeball thing.
With great music.
Yep, a lot of great music in that game.
Which is really saying something. Like, I agree with that, and I'm usually the kind of guy who turns off the music in video games.
Yes, because there's a lot of good beats. It has a nice variety, and you actually able to change track normal. You can change through the music.
And can't you also add your own music to it?
I believe so. I'm not actually sure. I haven't actually tried that out yet. But I think one thing, or the biggest thing for me, is doing all the trick shots. Because, as I said previously, that the ball can bounce more than once. It can bounce, I believe, twice or three times, depending on the shot.
I think it's just once. It bounces once, and if it's something else, then it's dead.
It also depends. It depends on the angle you throw it at too. Because if you throw it more in like a straight line toward the ground, it'll bounce quickly, and they'll kind of dump out the first two or whatever. But there's a bunch of different shot types. There's one that I most commonly get that's ricochet. Basically, it bounces off a surface and kills. There's Top Gun. I'm not quite sure how it works, but apparently I get a lot of those.
I think it's if you're in the air and you hit somebody out, and you.
Yeah.
I think you hit somebody else that's in the air.
I'm not sure. There's Duck Hunt, which means you hit somebody while they're in the air. There's Flying Squirrel, where you're in the air for a long time and get a kill against somebody. What else is there? There's Airstrike, which is like a long distance shot, as well as long distance and
just straight up long distance.
It's just straight up. There's a straight up long distance.
There's catch.
Sure there's catch. You can catch the ball. It's really difficult, may I say.
It's actually easy when it like bounces off a wall and it's kind of like floating there. You can just roll up to it and catch it.
It's just, but when you're getting fired at, it's really difficult because you have to have your cursor on the ball to get it.
Yeah, it's hard.
And then finally, I have no idea how you do this, but ninja. I don't know how you do ninja.
I believe you have to hit them from behind before they see you.
I think that's a good point.
I think that's what ninja is.
I think I can kind of see that, but overall, I really enjoy the game. There's still a lot that kind of can be fixed about it. But as it is, it's still a thing. But I just recommend that you play with a bunch of friends rather than playing with the bots.
I think I actually did a review back in the day on that game when I first got it. Back in the day, that was probably like a year ago. But I did a review on it.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good game.
Fair warning: you will hate each other by the end of the game. So enjoy your friendship while it lasts.
It is. It's basically the Mario Party of Steam.
Mario Party of Steam, and the aggressiveness of Super Smash Bros. All put in
the aggressiveness of Super Smash Bros. And the friendship-ending ability of Monopoly.
No, but in all seriousness, we're all still friends. It's cool.
Yep, it's really serious.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah, I totally hate you. I totally hate these people. I don't even know why they invited
me. I hate you too.
It's terrible.
Oh, we're all good, and then you hit me with the ball, and I.
Then I'm like, I'll fucking kill you.
And I didn't have a ball.
Bitch, I will stab you.
Yeah.
But
beautiful. Let's go back. I guess. Does anyone else have anything else to add?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up.
All right, let's go. I guess we can just go back into the story things real quickly. So, Annan, how about Apple TV being a console killer?
Lol, no.
Lol.
That's all I'm saying on that.
Just no. Just no.
No, it's not.
That's
Sorry.
it. That's it. Apple TV is trying to be popular, saying that the Apple TV is going to be for gaming and that's going to be a console killer. That's some of the BS stuff. I think just because it's Apple, it's getting a lot of news.
Does anybody
But
know how
that's
much it actually cost?
Nope, don't care.
I'm gonna look it up. I want to look up and see how much it costs.
Absolutely don't give a crap.
I'll answer that in 3 words. Too damn much.
Whoa! Apple TV 3rd generation. It says, oh, this is.
That's
I don't know
3rd
if this
generation.
Is it 3rd generation? Is that what it is?
I'm not sure if it's 3rd generation.
Well, it says
but
it's
what does it say for
$65.
Whoa. Okay,
Whoa.
hold on. Take a chill pill.
I mean, it's not gonna.
I mean, that
replace
kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, you're not gonna replace, PS4 and Xbox.
You're not gonna beat PS4
Or hell,
and
the new
Xbox
Steam
One.
machine or whatever.
Which
Heck,
technically isn't even a console.
Heck,
No.
Wii U could kick its butt.
We doing something like that. That's cute.
That's funny.
That's pretty hilarious. I literally just think that that's in the news because it's Apple. I don't think it should be a big deal. I think PS4 and Xbox and Wii should be all fine.
Pretty much, it's in the news only because, of the same reason that the iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil are freaking in the news right now.
Apple Pencil,
Yeah.
Because it's
not a
Apple.
sponsor. Not a sponsor.
It's
I mean,
a stylus.
Stylus.
talking about fucking Nintendo, like they're trash compared to all the other consoles out there because they're still riding the shirt tails of Mario from 34 years ago.
Speaking of Mario, can I go into that?
That segue though.
Segue though.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Anyway, speaking of Mario, 2015 now marks Mario turning 30 officially. It's 30 because he didn't actually appear as Mario until 1985. He appeared as Jumpman from 1981 to 1984. But Nintendo's kind of celebrating all that while they're still trying to kind of get themselves back on their feet after their issues. But I will kind of want to go into...
Yes, guys, I know my
Yeah.
webcam keeps popping up. Sorry.
I'm kind of wanting to just do a quick overview of some of the big games that he was part of or that he is involved in. So, of course, I think most notably is, of course, Donkey Kong from 1981, playing as Jumpman. That's pretty big arcade game, pretty popular.
Oh yeah, I love Donkey Kong. I grew up with that
yeah.
kind of stuff because me and my brother, we had Nintendo, the old Nintendo, the original
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo. We had Donkey Kong, we had Super Mario Bros. 3, and they were
Oh, yeah.
they were so much fun. I loved those games.
They had at my at a Boy Scout camp that I went to, at the camp they had Donkey Kong, the original Donkey Kong for the arcade machine, and you could
Yeah.
play it in there. Some other games they had Mario Bros. For 1983 that was still kind of not like a takeoff platform yet for Mario. 1985 Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo Entertainment System is really what took it off for him. I remember having my Nintendo Entertainment System and playing it for the first time and playing the original Super Mario Bros. I got the original Nintendo Entertainment System in 2012 from a hand-me-down, really in good condition, and I got to play that, so it was really fun.
Great.
Super Mario Bros. 3 for the Nintendo Entertainment System and Game Boy
I
Advance.
love
So
Super Mario 3.
I played it too. I didn't actually get it for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I got it for Game Boy Advance, which is a little bit newer, but I really enjoyed that.
I actually had that too.
Yeah.
But with Super Mario Bros. 3, like that game was so great. Like my brother and sister used to be so good at that they could like find the whistles to like the first two. I think it's the first two worlds or whatever, and they could get to the last world and basically go face Bowser in like 15 minutes. Like,
Yep.
it was like a speed run to see how fast they could beat the game.
Couldn't do it. Some other notable games: Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in 1990. That one is one that I actually have saved on my Wii U. I play it on my Wii U every once in a while. It's not the same controls though. It's just disappointing. I'm disappointed about that, but I like going back and playing that.
Did Super Mario 64?
Super Mario 64 is going to be the biggest. Is probably one of the biggest ones I have on my list.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the original. I had a Nintendo 64, and I got Super Mario 64 was the first game I got to go with it. I played that, and I got about halfway through. I think I got to 45 stars, and then it just kind of stopped playing it. I did eventually end up finishing it, but I kind of just stopped for a bit, and then I got back to it, and I was like, I should probably finish this, and I did it. No idea how many times I died, though. It was probably in the thousands.
Look at everybody's first console they ever grew up with. A lot of people, it was Milkins and Swellcore were Sega, and Skyfer was PS1. I actually grew up on a PS1 mostly. We had a Sega and a Nintendo, but I grew up on PS1, I would say.
We had our Nintendo 64 until about 2003 before we ended up having to get rid of it because the thing that read the cartridges got bent during a shipping over, and so we couldn't fix it, so we had to get rid of it, which is unfortunate, but still pretty fun.
That is unfortunate.
Some other games that were included. The first Mario Party game was introduced in 1998. That kind of got more characters involved other than Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi. And Peach got in there. Donkey Kong, and then Wario appeared.
Wario.
There was the first Paper Mario for the N64 in 2000. There was Super Mario Sunshine, which I really enjoy. That was in 2002 for the GameCube. I don't know if you guys ever played the Super Mario Sunshine, but I really enjoyed it.
I have that. I have that on my GameCube. I love that game.
I still have my copy. I play from my original Wii. Still play it. I think I enjoyed most of it up until the point where I don't want to spoil anything. Never mind. But there's this one
I got to the end.
I
couldn't beat it.
I completed the whole thing, but I got to one point. The level with the manta rays. The manta ray, and it's like shading over, and it makes a bunch of the goop. I don't know where. I forgot the name of this, but spoilers.
You'll find out of Super Mario RPG, said M4.
Oh yes, I forgot about Super Mario RPG. It's not a game I really looked over. I don't know if you guys
never played it, to be honest.
I mean that's where everyone gets their hype about Geno. Everyone wants Geno. Put Geno in Smash Brothers. I don't even know who he is. I saw it probably get made once, and I was like, eh. I think that's just kind of a game that everyone. It's hit or miss with that one. You enjoy it or you don't enjoy it. I want to kind of go into the game that I enjoyed. Probably my favorite Mario game of the early 2000s. Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door of 2004, GameCube.
I never played that. I think I tried it and I never liked it.
It's kind of different. I mean, if you guys don't want to enjoy spoilers, it's really hard for me to kind of explain it.
I mean, you can tell me. I'm never gonna play it.
I mean, is you basically travel to this place called Peach got kidnapped again, basically. You arrive in the city called Rogup. You're supposed to meet Princess Peach, but Princess Peach got captured, and you're fighting this group of people called the X-Nauts. I know it's funny. Sounds like tissues. And you're basically going through all these adventures, going to all these different worlds, and you're trying to collect these things called crystal stars. And apparently, if you if you collect all 7 of them from the 7 different regions of the world, you open up the Thousand-Year Door and believe that there's a giant demon behind the door that's been locked away forever. and you go in there and you see a lot of things happen. And it's a really interesting storyline because you do end up collecting a bunch of sidekicks. It's very, very similar. It's, of course, the normal Paper Mario setup as like the 2001. And I completely enjoy it. I think there's plenty of different levels to play, and I think there's one part that I really like. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Glitzville. Glitzville is my favorite.
Blitzville.
It's what it is. It's third world you go into, and you're literally wrestling. You're doing the Paper Mario format, and you're doing against all these variety of enemies to try and get the title belt, which you think is the Crystal Star. But it's a fake, and it turns out the real Crystal Star is draining from the power of the CEO, and the CEO is just using the power to kill everybody.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious. I want to say that my favorite sidekick in that game, because you can get 7 people, I believe. My favorite sidekick is Koops. You get Koops in the first, when you're going for the first Crystal Star. He's going with you because he wants to see if he can find his dad, and it turns out his dad was eaten by the dragon that you have to face as the boss, and then the dragon dies, and his dad escapes from the dragon, and it's so touching, heartwarming, and it's not heartwarming at all because you just gotta get your Crystal Star. I mean, I'm getting that Crystal Star, man. If I were Mario, I'd be like, hey, can I get my Crystal Star now? To wrap up the games for Mario turning 30, there was the new Super Mario Bros. For Wii 2006. That was kind of... I remember playing that a lot. Super Mario Galaxy for 2007. That was a game that I really enjoyed. It was a different story, it seemed, or a different way of interpreting the story of Bowser kidnapping Peach again. Go into the galaxy, why not? Come on, why not? Super Mario 3D Land and Super Mario 3D World, which is kind of getting the big hype nowadays for Wii U. It's hard to believe that game was released 2 years ago.
Wow.
But yeah,
I think I might have that on. I think I got a 3DS. Yeah, I have Super Mario 3D Land.
Yeah, 3D Land was kind of popular. I have my 3DS. I don't play 3D Land though.
I have Super Smash Bros. For it. That's what I always play.
Oh yeah.
Smash Bros. Is great.
Milken says, anybody ever owned a gold cartridge Majora's Mask? That's interesting.
Ooh, I bet that's worth a lot.
Probably is worth a lot.
Majora's Mask. What is it? N64?
Yeah. I played a little bit of Majora's Mask, but I
never touched Majora's Mask. Actually, I played Ocarina of Time. That's the one I played.
Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask N64 Nintendo 64 original label cart is $59.99.
Jeez.
Ooh, that's one of the more expensive ones. There's some other ones like underneath that, but that's like a brand new one.
That's not bad. That's not that bad. I mean, you can buy Evil Within for $59.99.
Yeah, but we're talking about, a game that's pretty old by game standards now.
On Amazon? Guess how much it is on Amazon?
Hundreds of dollars.
$250. Holy crap.
Wow.
I mean, Amazon, they overprice a lot of things, so probably some hopeful 13-year-old that thinks he can get $250 out of it. Anyway.
That was the asking price, Swellcore. It was some guy selling it on eBay, I think.
Beautiful.
But,
yeah, that kind of covers over my Mario turning 30 thing. Hopefully we'll have some more things to talk about when he turns 40, maybe.
And we're still around here to talk.
There's supposed to be a couple more things coming out. There's supposed to be the new Mario and Sonic, the Rio games 2016. I can't believe they're still continuing that series. And Mario and Luigi Paper Jam is supposed to come next year.
Oh.
Quick survey of chat. Has anybody got Mario Maker?
Mario. Oh, is that the one on Steam?
No. It's the new game that just came out where you can make your own, or it's for Wii U. It just came out, and you can make your own Mario levels.
Yep.
Anybody got that in chat?
I mean, I had heard of it and I never looked. No, yes. Milkins, that doesn't answer our question.
No.
No. Yes. Beautiful.
All right. Are we gonna continue with this or go into a different article?
I mean, that kind of rounds up my Mario turning 30 thing. I guess it's kind of a segue into my last thing that I have.
Okay.
Do it.
About of course, I mean, unless you're a big Nintendo person, if most of you followed a couple months ago, the CEO Satoru Iwata died of a bile duct growth at the age of 55, and with him passing away, they've had to name a new CEO for Nintendo, and they announced it Monday that Tatsumi Kimishima, a former banker and a director of Nintendo, will take over the CEO.
I like that you're trying to pronounce these names.
He did okay.
I'm trying to pronounce
It's good. I just like it.
It's gonna be a big deal to see what Kimishima does, especially with Satoru Iwata passing away. Because of course he kind of led the Wii console system, which ended up selling over 100 million units. Pretty popular. He kind of led them to the big growth time of the 2000s and into the 2010s.
Yeah, when the Wii came out, people were like, "Oh my God, you can move the controller and it does things." So everybody bought it.
Yep. It was believed, I believe, that there was going to be Shigeru Miyamoto taking over the position, but they ended up picking Kimishima. So he basically served as a director and was a banker formerly before joining the company. He kind of did like, what were you gonna say?
Which, yeah, I mean, that makes me kind of wary about him because banker, obviously, to me that's a big flag for he's going to be in it for the money, not to make good games.
Yeah.
Not to improve, the actual quality of the games and the consoles that Nintendo produces.
It's really interesting to see what's going to happen with that, yeah.
Yeah, because one really admirable thing about Satoru Iwata was that he was a gamer at heart. He loved games. At one point, he even gave up most of his salary one year to keep Nintendo afloat. He didn't care about money. All he cared about was making sure that people had games to enjoy and have fun with.
Yep.
This guy, I don't know anything about him.
Banker brings a red flag. Yeah, I don't know a lot about him.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a big red flag for me.
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting to see because before Iwata died, he mentioned that he was going to kind of take it to the mobile gaming step. Has kind of been in the if place, kind of. It has popular points, but it's been its bad points. And they're supposed to launch a handful of mobile video games within the next 2 years. I think that's supposed to be.
That's where Nintendo grew their company, was with the Game Boys and stuff like that. So that's not bad. That's how they came into popularity. I mean, they were Game Boy originally. Then they made the GameCube first? Was that their first?
Yep. Yeah, I think they're now going to be more focused on trying to get more 3DS games to kind of get that more out of the place because they haven't had a lot of truly huge, groundbreaking titles aside from 3D World and 3D Land, from what I've seen at least.
Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros. That's about it.
Yep. Pretty much is where they went, and then also, of course, with it's also going to be kind of interesting to see where they go from here because, of course, they just recently released Splatoon for the Wii, and that's kind of given them a boost from online gaming. The online gaming community kind of gave them a boost for that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Kimishima does from here after all of the stuff that has happened over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
That kind of finishes up my Nintendo fill-up of everything.
Yay, Nintendo!
Yours, Anon?
Ooh, what do we got? There could be a silver lining between the ad-blocking apocalypse, is one of my articles.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Enlighten.
Well, in short, ad blocking could be a good thing for both users and companies. I know people in chat are probably going like, what the fuck right now? Because that's where a lot of online companies get 90% of their revenue is ads. But basically, what ad blocking could do is help to purify the industry by making irritating methods of advertisement such as pop-up ads, interstitial takeovers, those ads that like pop up as soon as you load a page and take up the entire thing.
And that includes like the JavaScript powered banner ads.
Yeah. And things like that. Or just basically those ads are the reason that ad blockers exist. So basically what ad blockers can do is make those kinds of ads impossible. In the end, the bar will be raised for what viewers are willing to tolerate, and that'll serve viewers better, and as well as media outlets and Google, YouTube.
I think that's definitely something that a lot of people can relate to, because I mean,
nobody likes ads. Nobody likes ads.
If there's two things that I know a lot of people hate about YouTube, it's buffer and ads. Those are the two things. And if you can solve one of those things, you're going in the right direction. And those ad blockers really do. I have an ad blocker up so that way I can completely avoid all ads on.
Yeah, personally, I have an ad blocker, but because I do YouTube and I know I enjoy watching a lot of YouTubers whose livelihood is doing YouTube, I personally disable it on YouTube as well as Twitch.
Okay, I see that. I usually, when I'm mobile, if I'm watching something on YouTube mobily, I don't have a ad block on there, and I just let ads play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the whole idea of blocking all the ads because I was just reading a little bit. If the blocking becomes widespread, then they'll have to make the ads simpler, and they won't be so invasive and annoying. Like, I like that. Like, if that becomes widespread and they're like, oh crap, people aren't looking at our ads because they're too freaking annoying, then it might save everybody some time by like making ads a lot better, like a lot simpler. Like, I know, recently on YouTube, they have those Geico commercials that are like 15 seconds, and they're like, you can't skip this because it's already done. Like, have you ever seen those?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that kind of stuff. It's short, simple, and you just kind of like grin a little bit when you first see it. You're just like, okay, all right, like
that's clever.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. I think that's a good thing for everybody that's browsing, because people can get more ads out because they're probably a lot simpler and shorter, and it helps out the YouTubers and Twitch people and all the websites that get the revenue off of ads. Then they if people start disabling their ad blocker because the ads aren't so annoying, then they can get more money, and it helps out the people that are doing what they love with gaming on Twitch and YouTube and all the websites.
Well, part of it that also plays into the ad being annoying is that some of them are repeats. That's the big thing. There's a lot of repeating articles, and seeing a really funny article maybe one time would be really funny, but seeing it like 50,000 times would be pretty annoying. I remember TV commercials. It's like, hi, I'm Tony Romo, and I have DirecTV.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm Arts and Craftsy Tony Romo, and I have cable. I mean, yeah, it's funny. It's like the first couple times you see it, but after seeing it like the 500,000th times, 99% of the time, those articles aren't gonna still be funny. So.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a commercial that's always on. Like, I live in Ohio, and there's always a commercial that's on whenever I'm trying to watch a Cleveland game, that this guy like walks into this convenience store and he starts singing "Carry On My Wayward Son" to like the guy at the counter, because he's like saying how he's gonna go to a karaoke bar and stuff. And every single time that commercial comes on, my dad just mutes the TV and he's like, "I hate this commercial."
Same.
Just like
Same.
Oh, it's hilarious. But
It's-
you know,
The
stuff
mute
like
button
that.
is the ad block of TV.
Yep.
Sorry, I
bet,
cut you off. Go on.
I bet some people know what I'm talking about if they live nearby. But
I
yeah,
have the same issue.
Yeah, nobody likes ads, so basically, people, stop playing games. You're popping up on my face rig.
yeah.
Beautiful.
But, yeah, basically, once they start to realize, hey, people aren't watching these ads because they're too invasive, we get better, less invasive ads, and that are more tolerable to watch and to see.
Yeah.
Swelker's like, why does he buy beer to go to a... It bothers me so much.
That is so true. I don't understand that. That's the whole part of the commercial. It's like a I think it's like Miller Lite. I think that's what it is.
It'd be understandable if he was going like to a party that's like doing karaoke, but why are you going to a bar when you can just get beer there? Why go to the convenience store? Why do they?
beer.
And the only way I can understand it is if like that they don't have that particular brand. Milken says something about that. Says you have to click an ad to directly give revenue to the user living off it. To see the ad isn't enough. If that were the
Yeah.
case, people's monetization would be more easier.
I mean, sometimes sometimes I'll click on it just because you want to support them, you know?
I click and it's an accident usually.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll do it. If it's like somebody I'm like, hey, I'll support them, then I'll do it every once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's not something that, you know, many people do, which I agree that kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm. Totally understandable.
Well, I have an article that is kind of goofy to get more to a goofy little...
Yay, that was too serious.
Yeah, that was way too serious.
We're all talking about ad block.
Talking about carry on my wear.
Carry on my-
and the guy taking
Copyright.
drinks.
But anyways, this is the 6 of the most over-the-top video game characters of all time. And
Yay!
I know most of them. Okay, I know 4 out of the 6. So
I'm familiar with a lot of these.
Okay, so Duke Nukem is I think he's number 1, which he is so over the top. Like,
Yeah,
if you've
oh,
ever
yeah.
played a Duke Nukem game, like if you like don't know some of the things he says, go get a Duke Nukem soundboard and just listen to some of the stupid
It's like-
things he says.
Do it!
It's like at this point, how in the world have you not heard at least one good Duke Nukem quote? Like all of them are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think on my phone I think I might actually have a soundboard on my phone if I didn't delete it. I think I can actually play it. Oh yes, I do. I still have it. Woo. Yeah.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, quotes.
this is probably the other really, really, really popular one.
I've got balls of steel.
Yep.
I mean, it's just Duke Nukem is so crazy. But the next one is Bayonetta, and she's that chick that has the guns on her feet, and
Mhm.
she like shoots stuff with her feet. It's so dumb. That when I saw like that game coming out, I was like, this is the dumbest idea ever. Like, I don't understand. Running around kicking her feet, shooting at people in the face.
It's a hard idea to kind of get around until you actually experience it. And even still, it's a hit or miss.
I never played the game because I just thought it was so dumb. The next one is named Bubsy. Apparently he was like in the 90s. It was I forget who it was, but they tried to combine Sonic and Mario, like the really like
That-
eccentric personality of Sonic plus the like very like
That sounds like a train wreck in the first place.
like Mario is like he can like be translated to all sorts of different games. They wanted to have Sonic being like his like crazy personality mixed with like Mario who can be in like 100 million games. Like,
I gotta look this up. I've never actually seen a Bubsy. I have to look it up.
Research time! You should have put a picture of him in the doc.
It sounds like a train wreck.
yeah, he's like this little. He looks like the thing from Sonic. I forget what it's called. It's not. Is it Tails?
I don't
Tails
know.
from Sonic. Yeah, it is Tails. He looks kind of like Tails, but he's a little. He's got darker.
That's
darker,
a little ridiculous.
like brown. It's so dumb. I don't know.
Still sounds like it would be a train wreck.
Yeah, it's. But yeah, that's like one of the dumbest characters, I guess. There's a big section about that.
I don't even need to look at that anymore. And next.
Does anybody play Final Fantasy or has ever played Final Fantasy VII?
I have not.
Have
I have.
any of you in the comment section played it? Because I never played it.
I played it temporarily, but I know what
You know
I
the
know
villain.
what I know your villain you're talking about.
Their
Sephiroth.
name is Sephiroth. I don't know what they are, to be honest. I'm gonna have to look them up. Sephiroth.
I mean, I feel like to me, Sephiroth was kind of like the making of kind of Final Fantasy VII when it came to that kind of boss
Like,
fighting thing.
what was it so like over the top about him?
I mean, I think there's just kind of like it's really a lot of small specifics. For me, I think it was kind of like his kind of moveset, and then just like his like kind of just like his character in general, like how his appearance and things like that.
Okay,
think it was
I
kinda
just looked
unique.
him up on Wikipedia. Okay, it's revealed that in Final Fantasy VII, that he's the result of an experiment by the mega corporation Shinra, in which they injected him with cells from the extraterrestrial life form Genova when he was
Yep.
still a fetus.
Yep.
Upon discovering this, Sephiroth decides to follow what he believes to be his destiny and take control of the planet, whilst Cloud and the game's other protagonists attempt to stop him. So he was a baby injected with a million cells when he was a fetus. Which
Yep.
is
If you look at like pictures of him from just like stock photos of him, he really looks like a perfect setting to as an antagonist. I know it's really hard to kind of defer between a protagonist and an antagonist until it tells you in like the Final Fantasy games. At least that's just my opinion. But I can really see like the antagonist in that type of character, especially from some of the poses that you see of like screenshots or of promoting the character. I mean, his very first one, he's holding a blade that's literally as long as he is.
That's how all the
So-
Final Fantasy weapons are, though. The
I mean,
swords
like,
are as
I mean-
big as them.
I mean,
Yeah.
this one just... And then I see this one post here, he's just kind of looking menacingly into the camera. He has a hand up.
Licking menacingly?
Looking menacing. Look. I'm disappointed in myself.
We're just fucking with you, dude.
I'm disappointed in
licking.
myself. It literally did. I'm thinking about it, and it literally did sound like I said licking.
It really did.
Oh, lick that
It
upper
really
lip menacingly.
Mm.
Swellcore says he kind of likes Mewtwo. I like that too, because he's pretty over the top. He is definitely over the top. I'm surprised he didn't make the list.
You see him in the first one, and then everyone goes hype about him when he comes into Smash.
Mewtwo's
Yeah.
pretty badass.
Did you guys, when you we all said already that we all played Pokemon.
Yes.
Did you guys ever see when you were little that Pokemon movie? That one, I think it was like the first one that had Mewtwo in it, like had Mew and Mewtwo in it.
Yep.
Like
I did
duked
see
it
that.
out, and they all cried to unfreeze Ash.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I actually owned that movie.
Yeah, I had it on VHS.
That was a
But,
big blast.
that movie, like Mewtwo is so over the top. He like can fly. He talks with his mind. He he doesn't talk out loud or anything.
I don't know how he's not top 6. If he's not top 6, he should be number 7. He should totally beat up Z.
Yeah. I
Am
mean,
continuing?
Oh yeah. So the next one,
The one
is,
we
This is
probably all
pretty
know.
obvious. It's pretty
Trevor
obvious.
from GTA.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Trevor from GTA is so crazy. Oh god. If you guys have not played GTA 5, then go
Do it.
buy it right now because you should probably be
Do it.
playing it.
Do
Do
it.
it. Do it.
And
Do it.
join our crew.
Yep.
Yes, we actually have a GTA 5 crew.
Yeah,
By
come
the
join
way-
it.
By the way, just a quick off-topic thing. We just hit double digits in watching.
Yeah!
Double digits. Double digits.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
Okay, so the last one, I think this one's probably the funniest. It's this Pokemon named Trubbish. It's a Pokemon made out of trash. And Trubbish and its evolved form Garbodor are anthropomorphous. Sorry, I can't say it. Poison type Pokemon that are a possible result of running out of ideas in the Pokemon brainstorming room.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Sounds
It's
like
literally-
all modern
it literally-
Pokemon.
It literally does look like a bag of trash.
It is. It literally
It's like a-
does.
it's
If
like
you
a
don't
bag
know
of
what it
trash.
looks like, I'll type it into the chat. Like what's
It's literally just a bag of trash with wings. That's what it looks like.
so dumb.
I mean, yeah, it does kind of fulfill to the prophecy of theirs running out. They should have just stopped 150 at this pace.
Yeah. I mean, the original Pokemon are the best. Like they were
The origi-
awesome.
Snorlax. Snorlax. I would have a Snorlax, and I would use him as a beanbag chair.
Yeah, it kind of went downhill with the Pokemon names after, in my opinion, Ruby and Sapphire.
I agree with that. Ruby and Sapphire are pretty good.
Yeah, the names got a little ridiculous. I think kind of like I mean there are like certain ones that still catch my eye in regions past like Sinnoh and Unova and those ones like that, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think style wise, like name wise, yeah, it definitely kind of stops at 150.
Yeah, they were. The original games are so fun. Like I still have my original like red
Mhm.
version on the the Game Boy, and
Yep.
I've actually like put it in my Game Boy and played it sometimes. Like that's such a good game. Like
Yep.
It has all sorts of cool stuff to it, like catching Mewtwo and stuff like that. Like
I think yeah, it's really. I mean, the only really big Pokemon games that I played two of them.
Swelker says they have officially run out of ideas. I've seen one that looks like a set of keys and an ice cream cone.
Yep.
Yep. I've seen those. Those are just no. Why?
I've only I can never say that I live to play a lot of good Pokemon games. I played two that I played extensively. One was Pokemon Platinum. That's kind of Sinnoh region.
Platinum, the versions after the originals, like Gold, Silver, and
It's-
Platinum. Was
yeah.
that what it was?
It was Gold. It went with Diamond and Pearl. Platinum went
Oh.
with the Diamond and Pearl series.
Okay.
And I mean that one was kind of one that I put a lot of extensive play into, but I did have a couple that kind of caught my attention. Because normally how I would do it, I would start out with a Churchwig. That's the first thing. That was probably my first mistake, actually. I'd pick a Turtwig, and then I would go and out of my way to find a Shinx. I made the terrible mistake of trying to catch a Bidoof to use.
I don't even know what these are, to be honest.
Shinx is kind of like an electric type, and then Bidoof is apparently most renowned as like the most hated Pokemon ever because it's useless.
Like Pidgey
If you
from the original.
It's kind of pretty much.
Pidgey,
except
you
Bidoof
always
is
see
kinda
that, like,
worse.
or Rattata.
Yeah, it's Bidoof is basically recognized as the worst. It's like a beaver, look at that. But that's kind of one game I played, and then Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. Those are the two games that I play extensively.
I don't think I've ever played that.
If you know what the Mystery Dungeon style is, you're a human that's been turned into a Pokemon, and you're basically being a rescue team to go out and rescue all these Pokemon that are in trouble.
That's funny.
it's actually a pretty good story. And at the end of the story, it's like so emotional and everything, and you're going back to your normal human place. It's like, but I don't want to go back to my normal life. I want to be a Pokemon, and you come back and you're in the Pokemon world, and you stay a Pokemon forever. It's kind of funny. But
Anybody
it's also
ever played Pokemon Stadium?
I did. That was my first GameCube game.
Pokemon Stadium, dude.
Or Coliseum, actually. I'm thinking of, but I didn't play. Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing, isn't it?
But not really.
You like pick like 3 Pokemon and you duke it out.
No, but I was thinking of Coliseum. That was my first GameCube game.
Mm-hmm. You can see that.
But yeah, it's basically the same kind of concept. You just have Pokemon battles and stuff.
Yeah, I know. I think it was like my neighbor had Pokemon Stadium, and I used to go over to his house every once in a while, and we'd play that. Like that's a classic.
Yep. Nice to see that we railed the conversation twice with Pokemon.
Yay! Everybody likes Pokemon.
Beautiful.
All right, Anon, you got article left, right?
Do I?
The
Let's
VR,
look.
AR.
Oh, yeah, that thing. Scrolling, all of the scrolling. Yeah, basically it's an article titled "Why Gamers Are Excited About Virtual Reality and Augmented Reality." I personally am very interested in those. I'm very, yeah. I mean, I can't afford to buy like an Oculus Rift or anything like that, but
Yeah, Oculus Rift is really what took off the virtual reality idea.
yeah.
The only game that I would ever use it for is Elite Dangerous, because if you like move your head, you can look around your cockpit and stuff. But other than that, I don't think I have a use for it.
Mm-hmm.
GTA 5.
It would. I feel like I'd get really dizzy playing GTA 5.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
that is an inherent kind of flaw with
Oculus Rift. They
With-
told you.
Yeah.
They tell you when you test it, you need to sit down to play this, okay? Because your first instinct will be to fall over. Because you need to remember, you're getting immersed into the game. They're trying to make it as realistic as possible. But because you're putting yourself into that kind of fantasy world, you're kind of losing your sense as you try to focus yourself into comprehending the fake world, and you kind of just lose your sense. I remember I saw, I don't know who it was, but it was some guy was testing out the Oculus Rift, and he tried to do it while standing up. The first thing he did was fall flat on his face.
yeah.
The Oculus Rift, he put it on, and he was trying to kind of comprehend himself. He was for the first couple seconds, he was working out pretty fine. He was just kind of looking around. But then what happened? Because it was like a space thing, and so immediately he just like onto the floor. Didn't break anything, but he just fell to the floor, and he just that's why they kind of recommended that stuff. So
I've only ever done one like virtual reality kind of simulation thing. Like
Yep.
They came to my school, and I think it was like some vegan thing. Like they wanted you to walk around like you're a chicken, and you got taken into a factory. It's supposed to be like, oh, chickens are being killed,
vegans. Oh, vegans. Anyway,
But
and
yeah.
continuing about your article, we derailed it again.
Right. I mean, that's okay. That's nothing wrong with, taking the topic and just running with it. That's fine. But according to a survey of gamers conducted by the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, blah, 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 via Facebook, because that's completely legit.
Yeah.
51% of people globally, of respondents globally, believe that AR/VR is the future of gaming.
What's that out of like 42 responses?
Honestly, I'm surprised that it's that low.
I mean, there is kind of the downsides to the virtual reality. I mean, you need to realize that even still, it's only been a couple years since we've kind of immersed the Oculus Rift into our gaming ideas. There's still a lot of things being created, still trying to improve upon it.
Yeah.
I mean, for crying out loud, they had a giant hamster ball at I believe at one E3, and tried to practice that with the Oculus, but that's really that's impractical. Where are you gonna put a giant hamster ball in your house?
That's so dumb. Bulkcore Gaming says, I bet it'll never catch on. Just a gimmick, in my opinion.
You know, when arcade machines were first released, they said that about video games in general. Look how popular video games are today. I mean, it may have taken, you know, a long time. But, you know, video games are more popular now than they have ever been.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, it's kind of just a growing trend. It'll catch on eventually. People aren't gonna, you know, once it becomes more affordable for the average home user, then I think it will definitely catch on.
Yeah, I think right now virtual reality is still kind of in its baby brainstorming stage.
Yeah, it's a very novelty thing. Like, how much is an Oculus Rift nowadays? The DK2.
I think it can really vary.
What is it? EK2?
DK2?
Yeah, I thought it kind of varied depending on the model. I'm not quite sure what it is for DK2 model.
350 to 450.
Yeah, that's the price of most consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Buy an Xbox. You can buy an Xbox One here locally for like $250.
Exactly. So right now, I don't think it's at a price point where a lot of people are going to want to use it. But once it's, you know, a more affordable accessory to gaming, then I think it'll catch on.
I say you give it a little.
I agree with that.
I say give it 2 or 3 more years of prototyping and testing, and you'll start seeing it really get up there. It'll still have its issues up until that point because it's really hard to do all this immersion, get a person really into the game.
Yeah, plus the technology itself is really still in its infancy. It's still being developed.
Technology can only carry you so far, so
yeah,
you gotta let it process it and get up there.
Yeah, so once they've kind of made it better and kind of fixed the issues that are inherent with it, like, you know, not being able to walk around without being dizzy and disoriented, that kind of thing. Once they figure things out, and, you know, along with like making it less bulky, that'll kind of help too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Works.
So that's what I think, you know. I think it's only going to go, you know, uphill from here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it is the future of gaming when they can make it accessible, you know, not so costly, and when it's easier to just handle, and I guess when it gradually just works its way into being common, I guess.
Yeah, right now it's a clunky work in progress that's too pricey for the average gamer to afford.
Yep.
But that'll be fixed over time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
Alrighty. Isn't there one more you have, Swiss?
I actually have 2 more. They kind of go hand in hand, though.
Do it.
This one is video game addiction, no fun. Video game addiction, ladies and gentlemen.
Video game addiction.
So while most people associate addiction with substances such as drugs or alcohol, doctors recognize addictive behaviors as well in video games. So the definition of addiction, the person needs more and more of a substance or behavior to keep them going. If the person does not get more of the substance or behavior, he or she becomes irritable and miserable. With like video games, they kind of relate it. I think it's hilarious. They relate it to a cocaine addict. So,
oh boy, this is gonna get interesting.
Oh no.
The person is trying to change the way they feel by taking something outside of themselves. So, like a cocaine addict learns, you know, I don't like the way I feel, I take a line of cocaine. So for gamers, it's I don't like the world I'm in, so I'm gonna go indulge myself in this fantasy world.
An outlet. It's an outlet.
Which, I mean, I can understand that kind of behavior to an extent. Like, yes, video games can be a great escape from reality.
Yeah.
Because you get to be yourself, and, you know, you get to express who you really are and who you really want to be without anyone telling you you can't, and just without all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Until you play online and then have to deal with other players.
I mean, that's like why we do YouTube. Like, we want to go on YouTube and be ourselves and have fun with each other. You know, doesn't matter about anything like, you know, it's all about our personality rather than, you know, I look like this and he looks like that, and that's you know, it doesn't matter at this point. Like, we're all just voices to each other, and we all know each other through that.
Exactly.
Except me, since you all already know what I look like now. Thanks to freaking FaceRig bugging out.
Thanks, FaceRig.
Thank you, FaceRig.
I think eventually we're gonna be doing with our normal faces anyways. Once we get comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soulcore Gaming says, haven't some Korean gamers literally died while playing by not eating or anything for days and days? That actually happened recently. I think there was a Korean gamer that died. It was a Russian. Yeah.
Russian played 22-hour session and he died because of dehydration.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I can understand where they're getting at. You know, video game addiction. You know, that's a problem.
But I think there's something more to that. Like, that's got to be a sustained behavior. That can't have been the first time he's done that, because I've done 24-hour plus gaming sessions without food or water, been just fine. The human body can live 24 hours without food and water.
I mean, it's Russia. There's differences between an American gamer and a Russian gamer.
Yeah, but still, the human body can live for 24 hours without food and water. So there's got to be something else. He's got to be. That had to have been a sustained behavior.
And I think at that point where he is, you know, doing that so much where he's gonna die. Like, I feel like that's not just I'm addicted to video games. I feel like that's I've got something screwed up in my head because I can't pull myself away from a screen to get water.
That's kind of like the thing that they did with those like, I think it was like Asian parents where they had to take their kid because they weren't caring for their kid. They were busy playing World of Warcraft. And they immersed themselves. No, they were raising a virtual child, and they had their real child away from their custody because they were more focused on a virtual child.
Wow.
Yeah.
People like that shouldn't have parents. I'm sorry. Just gonna say that. Just gonna throw that out there, and the end of that discussion.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, you need to take care of your real kid.
That kind of feeds into like virtual life being more appealing than real life. That's kind of an issue.
Yeah.
Do it.
There's actually a book I read recently. It's the Ready Player One.
You told me about that book.
Yeah, it's about a kid who goes online to escape his real life because it's really shitty. And he goes online, becomes this avatar that, you know, he can go to school online, which kind of applies to what we were talking about earlier with schooling. He goes to school online, and he's in a virtual reality universe where he like literally walks around in the universe like using like gestures by his hands or something like that. But anyways, he like, you know, he escapes his reality by going there. Like at the beginning of the book, like he's got like a really shitty like I think it's like a stepdad or something, or stepmom or something. He's got a really shitty life though, but he like lives in this trailer that's like stacked on top of other trailers, and it's really bad. But you know, that kind of shows a little bit of video game addiction, but I mean, also it could be literally an escape, and it could actually be helpful, like almost therapeutic, which that's actually mentioned in the other article that I have. But continue with the video game addiction thing. So it says that too much gaming may seem relatively harmless compared to dangers of a drug overdose, but video game addiction can ruin lives. It says children who play 4 to 5 hours per day have no time for socializing, doing homework, or playing sports. That takes away from normal social development. You can get a 21-year-old with emotional intelligence of a 12-year-old. He never learned to talk to girls. He never learned to play a sport.
There's finding that happy medium.
I can understand that. Like, if you have somebody who doesn't ever go out, who doesn't ever, you know, interact with, you know, like the normal school setting, like, you know, as much as they probably should to develop, I can understand that. they're like not socially developed, and that it kind of ruins the rest of their life.
Yeah, it's finding there's a fine line between playing a lot of video games and then being completely like socially awkward because of video games.
Yeah.
There's finding a happy medium. Like me, I try to find my happy medium because I played tennis in high school. So I played video games at home when I didn't have any homework to do.
Yeah.
And then I'd always do my homework if I had any homework, and then I also had times where I'd play sports in high school to kind of balance out being, because I didn't want to just be addicted to one thing my entire life, but I still wanted to enjoy playing video games.
Oh yeah.
So.
And I think even like if you do play video games all the time, like our setting that we have right here with our community, like we're actually doing social stuff. Like we aren't just like sitting in a room silently staring at a screen. Like we're actually just like hanging out most nights, watching VidSync or something. You know, we're just hanging out, like not necessarily social development, but we're not like socially awkward with each other or anything like that. We're just actually just talking like a bunch of bros.
If you really think about it, it is social development because, like, we're still talking. It may not be face-to-face. We may not be able to see each other. We may not be in the same room, but we're still developing friendships and communicating with each other, you know, and learning how to do so.
Yeah.
By, you know, experience. So gamers still get that experience even if they spend all day in front of a computer.
Swellcore Gaming says, I saw a story where 2 parents let their newborn die because they wanted to play World of Warcraft.
That's the story I was thinking of.
Wow.
Yeah.
They got arrested for that.
If you're gonna do that, don't have kids.
And Alex says, I saw one where parents neglected their newborn to play a parent simulator.
Ooh.
That's the one I was talking about with the Korean parents that raised a virtual child over.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's so ridiculous.
Please.
But,
anyway, lastly.
And then the article ends with video game detox. So it says because video game addicts can't avoid computers, they have to learn to use them responsibly. So the key is to show gamers they are powerless over their addiction and then teach them real life excitement as opposed to online excitement. I don't know how you can do that unless you're like going out handing out a bunch of handies, but I mean
God.
Beautiful.
I like to think that I, speak in such beautiful ways that I can just capture the attention of my audience.
Beautiful. just lovely.
All right, that was good.
And on that bombshell, are we out of topics?
I have my last article. If you want me to bring it up, it's the if video games are good for your brain. So it's kind of the opposite.
Do it.
Well, okay, so yeah, are video games good for your brain? So that is obviously like what we were just talking about. They've been debating the negative effects like addiction, increased aggression, and like obesity, and like it says repetitive strain injuries. So I don't know, just like all the little negative effects that media blows up. And so however, there's now a wealth of research which shows that video games can be put to educational and therapeutic uses. Like we were talking about educational uses and therapeutic uses, and as well as many studies which reveal how playing video games can improve reaction times and hand-eye coordination. And so like playing action video games like fast-paced, like shoot 'em up, like first-person shooters, and that actually confirms that statement. Because players that have experience with games actually show improved performance in perception, attention, and cognition, and...
See ya, Skyfer. Have a good one.
I think it says perceptual tasks. Bye, Skyfer. And it says, like, we're better at perceptual tasks and stuff. And then they, like, also took gamers that had little experience, and they tested their abilities to do the same tasks, and they were not as good. and then they took the gamers that didn't have experience, they trained them for 50 hours on a game, and they tested them after that, and they were actually better after their training in the video game. So, like, that's interesting, I think. To be, like, using games to almost improve, like it said, perception, attention, and cognition, like, and hand-eye coordination and reaction times and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. I know, like, this kind of goes hand in hand with this and, like, the virtual reality kind of thing. Like, I know, like, military uses, like, virtual reality stuff to train their people sometimes.
Train pilots.
Yeah, pilots, yeah. And, like, obviously, they wouldn't classify it as a game. They'd be like, it's a training software, but it's basically a game. Like,
it's a training simulator. It's a fucking video game. Just admit it.
They're like, oh, it's a training simulator. Like, it's a game. Like, they use that for training, which is really cool, I think. Using games in that way. I think that's very cool. So it says, video games can be fun and stimulating, which means it's easier to maintain a pupil's undivided attention for a longer period of time. So, like, what we're talking about with the education. And this is kind of also with how we're talking about, like, our YouTube channels, and we don't have to care about what we look like or anything like that. Video games have an appeal that crosses many demographic boundaries, such as age, gender, ethnicity, or educational attainment. Which, that's also very cool. Like, you don't have to be the epitome of society to be on a video game with other people. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty cool too. It allows people to kind of come out of their shell and actually interact with others. Mm-hmm. Maybe in the maybe not in the most positive way, but they can interact with others. No matter what gender, ethnicity, or anything. Age. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really depends on, like, what kind of community you're surrounded by. But if you're surrounded by a good community, it can be very positive. If you're surrounded by, like, League of Legends, no, not positive at all.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it also says that it kind of finishes up with video games can be so engaging that they're also used therapeutically. A number of studies have shown that when children play video games following chemotherapy, they need fewer painkillers than others do, which that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the simulator thing, Swolker Gaming just brought up that the game America's Army, which I've actually played and is quite fun, is made by the U.S. Army.
Oh yeah.
As, a kind of a training simulator.
Yep.
And that is actually on Steam, so you can go download and play that if you want to.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I forget what game it was, but was it like Battlefield or something that got in trouble, or the people that helped out some game, but it was a bunch of like Marines or something that were asked to help out with a video game, and they helped them out like so much that they like almost got in trouble. Or was that like a movie? Or was that like Active Valor? Was that Active Valor when they got in trouble for that?
I'm not sure. I've never seen Active Valor.
Really? That's a good movie. You should go see it.
I should see it.
Do it.
They use live rounds in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. But anyways, so it's also clear from scientific literature that the negative consequences of playing almost always involves people who are excessive video game players. What we're talking about with the addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, as long as you maintain a healthy balance between real life and video games, you're absolutely fine.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Play all the games you want.
It can actually help you with, reaction and, all sorts of different, like, attention span, like, your ability to, like, perception, that kind of stuff is helped out.
You had mentioned that it feeds in well with the education potential, so.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got.
I want to quickly go ahead and just say before this is all over,
Do it.
Best wishes to Mark. Apparently had something serious happen. He hasn't released any details, but for those who care,
Wait, who?
wishes for Markiplier.
Markiplier.
I said Markidank. I was like, what?
What? Like Mark, if he was in trouble, I wouldn't care. No, I'm kidding. I would.
Oh.
Jerk.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I would have cared.
Poor
But yeah,
Mark.
apparently that happened. So, but yeah, I'm done. I have everything I've said.
Heart goes out to Markiplier.
Yeah.
Heart goes out to Markiplier.
Everybody here who has Twitter, go show that guy some love.
So that got some love, please.
Because he probably needs it right now.
So, as we finish this, we have this extra square on the stream. What will this be for, Anon?
Future guests to the podcast. Anybody, interested in coming on and talking about video games with us, let us know. And, you might get a chance to be a guest on the podcast and fill that fourth square.
Yeah, we'd love to have guests. That would be so fun to have another person on here. Random people all the time. That'd be great.
Oh, yeah. You can tell us all about your channel and,
Yeah, give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to people that might be watching.
You could plug your channel on the stream. I don't care. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But, if you are interested, let one of us know, and we might get you in. We'll try to get you in.
And what are we gonna say? Are we gonna say anything about the schedule of this stuff right here?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, every week at first, but sometimes, some weeks, not much happens in the gaming industry. So...
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Guys in chat, what do you guys think? Should we do it every week, or should we do it every 2 weeks? That would be my alternative solution.
Yep.
That would give us more time to kind of gather articles and things to talk about, and, kind of give us more of a break.
Agreed.
I mean, right now we're kind of leaning towards every 2 weeks, but I mean, if you guys want us to
yeah, if you want us to do this every week, we will go ahead and do that for you. Do it.
And also apparently
Gaming wants to be a guest.
And Numbers apparently has linked us to all of our channels as
Yes,
well in the chat.
thank you very much. I'll be adding those in the
Thank you,
description.
Numbers.
I will be adding those in the description when this goes onto YouTube as a video. Thank you very much.
Sweet.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
This is
Yeah,
for a great first day.
Yay.
Let's wait for the feedback. I know there's some delay, so
Feedback. What do you guys think? Should we do this every week or every 2 weeks?
every 2 weeks.
We'd really like to hear those responses. That way we can go ahead and start kind of planning ahead, depending on the responses. It'd be really nice to see what you guys say.
Yeah, what you guys think? Let us know.
I feel like you guys are gonna be the guys that watch us most. So
Yeah, I feel like you should have the biggest say. Yes. Yes is not an answer.
That doesn't help me.
Swellcore says 2 weeks.
Swelker says 2. Okay, we got 1-0. 1-0 vote for 2 weeks so far.
All right.
Watch it win. Watch it win 1-0.
1.5 weeks.
I'm going to count that as 2 weeks.
Smart
Abstains
mouth.
for competition reasons.
Well,
Not a competition, it's a vote.
it's the vote, literally.
Maybe he's referring to the fact that they have the UK.
Oh,
Argos,
yeah.
Argos,
Yeah.
Argos, you're savage.
You're savage. Well,
A yes counts as 2 weeks. I'm just saying that now.
Yes, guys, it's 2 weeks. 2-0, 2-0.
it might end up being 2 weeks. I mean, not a whole lot
it's
happens in a week.
Yes!
Oh, he means yes as 2 weeks. He's agreeing to the 2 weeks thing, yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right. Well, yeah.
We'll do this every 2 weeks then. So our next one is going to be on the 30th
September 30th. Yep, September 30th.
of 2015.
Yep.
We'll see you guys then.
Yep. See you there.
Actually see us
Thank you
before
all
that.
for
You'll actually
joining
see
us. This was
before
really
that.
fun. Our first one ever. I really enjoyed this.
You'll
Yay.
actually see us before that because you'll see us in Speak. You'll probably just come in and say hi to us, but
Yeah.
you'll
If
see us
you-
on the live stream on the 30th.
Yeah, if you guys are not in the TeamSpeak that often, definitely come join us because we are always on there. Like we always get on, hang out, and have a good time almost every night.
Oh yeah,
So,
every day. Every day.
if you guys want to get on there, hang out with us.
And join the Brits on the UK podcast on Friday.
Yeah, we're
Friday.
gonna be nice about it too, instead of him.
He's just like,
These
forget
losers.
these losers.
Hey, we were gonna advertise you.
You know, now we're not.
Jerk.
No.
Not sponsored by the UK podcast.
But yeah, thank you all for joining us. This was really fun.
Every day. I don't know about every day. I don't know about every day.
Okay, thanks guys.